Thank you. Thank you. Wow, I can't believe she was talking about me. Well, good evening, everyone. I know there are people out there. Thank you. And what I do know about you people is that you can give me a better, more spirited, more powerful Oak Ridge good evening than the one you tried the first time. So let's try that again. Good evening. Ah, there we go. And thank you very much for that introduction. As you heard, my name is Robert Landau. I am originally from New York City. This is good. Nobody booed. This is very good. And first of all, congratulations to all of you. I want you to know that your accomplishment is incredibly important. And it's never been more important than right now, in this day and age. To be able to get up and speak your truth, and to be able to defend it and stand by it, no matter what, is a gift. It's a talent that many people don't think they have. You know what the number one fear happens to be in this country? It's not death. You would think it's death. It's public speaking. Public speaking. And even if you happen to have that fear, I bet it doesn't even show. Because it's like you're running a race. It's like you're a runner at the Olympics. You have this task to accomplish. You want to win your race. And you start at the starting line and you line up with all the other runners. And what happens in those few moments before you hear that starting gun or whatever it is? All of those, Did someone say something? Tell me. What's going on in all of those athletes' heads before the race even starts? They're thinking they want to be number one. 100% correct. And even more important, they're feeling as if they want to be number one. And they are visualizing themselves already crossing the finish line before the race has even begun. All of you and all of you are incredibly powerful people because we have the ability to win races in life. And what will help us get to the finish line a lot better, a lot more successful than otherwise, is if we already feel as if we have won the race before the race even starts. Example. You're looking at someone who is, as you heard from the introduction, a professional public speaker. I'm a motivational speaker. I speak at conferences and conventions, not only in the Houston metro area, but also in the state of Texas and out of the state of Texas. But you are also looking at someone who was terrified to get up and speak in front of two people. Not only in elementary school, not only in junior high school, but in high school as well. Why? Because I was heavily teased in elementary school, heavily bullied in elementary school, and it went all the way through to the end of junior high school. And what happened to me happens to a lot of people who go through that. I believed what everyone was saying about me. And I thought, you know what? If so many kids are feeling the exact same way about who I am, I wonder if it's true. And I bought into their opinion of me, as opposed to remaining true to myself, who I am, and the heck with them if they can't take a joke. The sad thing about bullying and teasing is the person who is the victim makes a choice. Do you buy into other people's opinions of you? Or do you realize that it is other people's opinions of you, but maybe not the opinion of yourself? And which is more important, other people's opinions of you or your opinion of yourself? And if the latter, meaning your opinion of yourself, happens to be more important, then you've already won the race. You've already crossed the finish line before the race has even begun. I bought into other people's opinion of myself. I was teased because I dressed in bright colors. My parents were from Eastern Europe, and that's how kids were raised there. They didn't understand that it was a little different here in the States. So I was heavily teased because of how I dressed. And I had a huge self-esteem issue. I was afraid to even speak. I was afraid to even use my voice. I was afraid to use the incredible gift of the power of words that all of you have been blessed with. And so I went through the early part of my life totally afraid of everything. Fear. Fear stands for future events appearing real. F-E-A-R. I was thinking, uh-oh, if I open my mouth and say what I want to say, it'll be a terrible result. Before I even opened my mouth and said what I wanted to say, I stopped myself from living. I was my own worst enemy. I was not my best friend. Please don't ever do that to yourselves. How you talk to yourself within yourself every day of your lives is hugely important. Because what you say when you first wake up in the morning happens to be how your day will most likely unfold. So if you wake up in the morning and go, oh, another day, I have all of this stuff to do, it's just not going to go well. I know it, I can feel it. I don't even want to get out of bed. What kind of day do you think you're going to end up having? Whereas, if you make the choice, because life is all about choices, you wake up in your bed before you even get out of your bed every morning and say to yourself, within yourself, thank you, another day. And no matter what happens today, I will get through it. That's all you need to do. And you will indeed have a much better day. Complete this sentence. Ask and ye shall receive. That's kind of what that's all about. Complete this sentence. Along those lines, thoughts are things. Things. That's how powerful you are. How do you go into a debate? Do you go into a debate feeling, not necessarily thinking, because thinking tends to work against us too much because of mind chatter? But how do you go into a debate? Do you go into a debate before it's even started, feeling as if there's a very good possibility that you're going to win? Well, guess what? Then there will be a very good possibility that you will win. As opposed to going into a debate or any situation in life, feeling like, oh boy, why does this always happen to me? This is never any good. This will not have a good outcome. You've lost the race before you even begin. How did I overcome what ended up to be a huge fear of public speaking? Well, guess what? When I graduated college, I was living in a suburb of New York City. And I decided to flip this negative that I had imposed upon myself. Because all those people teasing me, it was not about them. Personally, it was about me. Remember this, everybody. You can never hope to change anything that happens on the outside of you. You can't control that. All you can hope to do, and what you really can do, is choose how you manage what is happening on the outside of you. So I chose to deal with my issues positively, flip that negative into a positive, because nobody was going to do it but me. And this is what I did. I enrolled myself in the most avant-garde acting school in New York City in those days, where in a theater like this on Broadway, they would have all of the students sitting out in the theater, and you would hear the acting teacher's voice from somewhere in the back, and they would say, "Robert, would you get on the stage, please? It's your turn next." And I would get on the stage, and he would say, "Stop. Turn around." And I would say, "Yes." And he would say, "Okay, I want you to be a tree in the winter. It is 40 degrees below. It is freezing outside. On your branches, you have 2 feet of ice. You are angry that it is so cold, and that ice is heavy and hurts. Through sound and movement only, Robert, show us how you feel. Go." And for somebody who was so incredibly inhibited, that was terrifying for me. But somehow, some way, I decided that I was not going to fail, that that was a race that I was going to win, and nobody else could do it but me. I became a professional actor for many years, and when I didn't like the messages that were, and they still are, of a negative nature in the media, because I don't think that helps anyone, I decided to go to sea. But I didn't know what I was going to do. And one morning, I was jogging along the East River thinking, okay, this is a very expensive city, New York City, to live in. How am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? What do I do? And one of those mornings at 6 a.m., I didn't feel like I was jogging along the smelly East River. Instead, I felt that I was jogging around the promenade deck of a brand new cruise ship that was plying the refreshing waters of the Atlantic Ocean. And I thought, wow, where did that come from? And the next thing I heard was, "Ask, and ye shall receive." And I thought, okay, I'm going to put that to the test. I'm going to pretend every morning when I jog along the smelly East River at 6 a.m. that I'm not jogging along the smelly East River at 6 a.m., but instead, I'm jogging around the promenade deck of a brand new cruise ship plying the refreshing waters of the Atlantic Ocean. And 3 weeks later, after visualizing it and feeling it every morning, guess what happened? I became Santa at Macy's Herald Square. No, that's just a joke. Well, I got a call from one of my friends. Hey, you got to have fun, right? I got a call from one of my friends, and she said, "Robert, sorry, it's Sunday morning, so early in the morning, but I can't sleep because I have a very important question I want to ask you. I have the name and contact information of an agent that puts cruise staff and entertainers on cruise ships. I somehow feel moved to give that to you. Would you like that?" And what do you think I said? Yes, please. Called them up, they invited me to their offices, and they asked me 3 very important questions. "Robert, have you ever taken a cruise before?" "No." "Robert, we have no assistant cruise director positions available. Do you know what a socializer is?" "No." "Robert, do you know how to dance?" "Well, yeah." And they said, "Good, you're hired." And for 3 weeks, I was a socializer on a brand new cruise ship plying the refreshing waters of the Atlantic Ocean. I could jog around that promenade deck as much as I wanted to. Didn't know what a socializer was? And I found out. A socializer is a male member of the cruise staff that dances with every single lady on board that ship. Could I dance? No! It was ballroom dancing. There were 300 ladies on that cruise, all seemingly over the age of 94, and I was in my 20s, and they wanted to cha-cha, tango, merengue, and all that Fred and Ginger Dancing with the Stars type of stuff with me. I learned, 3 weeks became a season. Next season, I was asked back as an assistant cruise director, did that for 3 years, and then one day I thought, you know what? This ask and ye shall receive thing really works. I'm going to do it again, and this time, I'm going to be a cruise director. And it happened. It happened for over 8 years. 300 ports of call on close to 400 cruises worldwide. And how did I get there? Using my voice. Using my thoughts combined with my heart and the incredible power of words to keep people motivated to visit these incredibly exotic ports of call. What did I learn from those years that I speak about now? We live on an incredible planet with incredible people, just like you and I. No, not everybody speaks English. No, not everybody believes what you and I believe. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Because when we get away from here and move into here, that's what matters. That's the lesson of Harvey. Helping people was not coming from here for all of us. It came from here. And that's what I want all of you to take with you this day forward. Please don't ever take for granted the incredible gift you have to get up like me and get people to feel something. You, like me, and many of you here, have the power to help everybody remember what they think they have forgotten. Don't get in your way. Be your own best friend and stand aside and let the message be delivered. We need to be lifted now more than ever, and you and you and you are all part of that deliverance. Live your life from here as opposed to here. Plan your steps, and then once you've seen where you want to be at the finish line, before that gun goes off to start your race, get out of the way and just take the steps to get there and know that they will get you to where you need to be. So, in closing, be who you are. And don't let anybody tell you anything otherwise. You have a powerful message to deliver. Even when you're not speaking, even when you're not debating, when you're in the supermarket. As you walk in there, people will feel stuff from you. You are communicators, you are leaders, just like the rest of us are. Let's roll up our sleeves and move forward in this life together. It's up to nobody else but us. Can you do it? You better believe it. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody. God bless.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Oh, do you need that?